Hello class! For today's lesson we're going to have a look at DC Universe Classics Wave 9 figure number 7, oh that's a mouthful, Green Arrow, our good friend Ollie. So here he is in his package. We can see right now some of his trick arrows that I'm probably going to lose because they're small accessories and that's what happens to them around here. Does include a collect and connect piece. Well, that's just kind of a standard thing they put because it really doesn't. It comes with a figure stand, and that's kind of weak because you'd like a piece of a bigger figure, but you know what? Maybe having a figure stand won't be too bad. We can use it for some characters that don't stand up too well. On the back here, we can take a quick look. Our first figure is going to be Wildcat. We got Deadshot, Guardian. I have no idea who the hell he is. I know who most of them are. We've got Black Adam, Mantis, and Black Canary, his chick. I think they're married now, right? Can she still be his chick when they're married? I don't know. Anyways, that probably wasn't very nice. His wife. And there we've got Green Arrow. And you can put them together to build, I'm going to say it's what, chemo? I'm not sure exactly how I'm supposed to say that, but I think it's supposed to be short for chemical. Whatever. I'm going to say chemo for now. Whatever. So there we've got Green Arrow, a quick biography of him. After falling overboard during a South Seas cruise, got it rough, Oliver Queen washed up on a desolate island. Facing starvation, Queen fashioned a bow and arrows to hunt game and became an ace archer. After his rescue, Queen attended a costume party in Robin Hood regalia and foiled a robbery using his hard-won archery skills. Thrilled by the experience, Queen decided to continue fighting for the innocent and downtrodden as the Emerald Archer, known as the Green Arrow. That doesn't sound as exciting as one might think. Anyways, he first appeared in 1941. Dude's a geezer. He's Oliver Queen. He's a hero. And he's really rich, right? So he's kind of like Batman, except not as smart or as pissed off. And he's really good at shooting arrows, and he beats people up real good. There we go. So, that was our in-package look at Green Arrow. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to try to not lose these before we have a look at them. So if you hold on a second, we'll be right back. So we're back, and we're still looking at Green Arrow here. Just give you a quick look at the figure. Whoa. Quick 360 of him. We'll talk about it a little bit more. So I guess to start off with, the mold is actually kind of nice on this one, especially the upper body. It has a lot of detail on it. We can see the crisscross here that goes across his chest. And now he's got the kind of tunic. And even on his arms, the bands for holding his bow, they're not just painted on, it's actually sculpted on, which is actually kind of nice. It's not just a paint application. They have, in fact, molded it for that, which is actually pretty nice. And his hands, they're not your standard, you know, fists or open hands. They look like they are designed to hold something, which is excellent. The lower half of them, you know what? It's an average male DCU mold. It's what we would expect. We've got the G on his belt there, and his head is pretty good too. If we get him a little bit closer here, we can see he's got that funny scruff there on the chin. Makes him kind of look like, I don't know, Robin Hood or something. We've got the mask. We've got some detail here on the hair, which is pretty nice. And his hat, which actually I still think is kind of goofy. And the feather here. Now one thing I should point out about the feather, that's going backwards here. When I first ripped this thing out of the package, the feather stuck out like that. It's just the way it was put in there. It took a fair bit of time and effort to make it fit straight back. Now the other thing that he has on him, you can see here with the band, on the back we have his quiver of arrows. We can see there's some detail there to show that he has a whole bunch of them. This thing does not move. At least it shouldn't. I'll probably end up breaking it if I try too hard. But we've got that there to make sure he's got lots of ammunition. Now in terms of his articulation, you know what? Pretty standard for a DCUC figure. His head's going to go all the way around. Oh, move it up and down just a little bit. Get the rotation at the shoulder. It goes up, back, down. Rotates at the bicep. We've got the bend at the elbow. And the wrist, or the hand rotates at the wrist. One thing I should point out though is that it's I think it might be there's an extra joint in there. I'm sorry, you can see it in there. So actually, his wrist has backwards and forwards movement as well. We'll see it's the same over here. That is excellent. You don't see that in a lot of the DCU figures. I think it's because we want to have him hold his bow. So that's good. He's got the articulation here at the waist. He's going to try to do the middle torso. Oh, jeez. There we go. It does look like he's supposed to be able to bend here. Oh, there we go. At the waist, it was just kind of stuck. There we go. So we can move that forwards and backwards. Starting to wonder. Legs forward and back here at the hips, then out. We can rotate there at the thigh, bend at the knee, and of course bend here at the ankle. So we've got kind of, I don't want to say the standard posability, but you know, it's what we'd expect from most DCU figures, which is nice. So we can put him in some interesting poses if we want. Now, in terms of accessories, what does he need? Well, of course he needs his bow and arrow. And here we have it. The bow is going to fit into his hand. See if I can do this here. Used to be able to do this. There we go. Now the one thing I should point out, and we'll talk about the other arrows in a second, the arrow is incredibly small. In fact, with the string for the bow the way it is, he would never actually be able to shoot the arrow off. The arrow would have to be almost this long, and then he'd have to be able to pull it back. So in order to have him hold on to the bow and arrow, we can get him to hold on to it right there. Actually, that's not too bad. But he can't make it look like he's about to fire it. The arrow is really just too short for that. It just would not work. Which is kind of too bad. The arrows need to be a fair bit longer. But I guess that's okay. We can live with that. Now, in terms of his other accessories, he does come with a whole bunch of his extra, maybe trick arrows. And I'll get those here. So we've got kind of, I guess maybe your standard arrow with a sharp point on the end. What else do we have here? This looks like it could be some kind of explosive arrow. I don't know how well we can see that there. What else do we have? I have no idea what that is. It's got some kind of thing here. Maybe it's supposed to be a bolo or something. I don't know. And then we have the classic boxing glove arrow, which is incredibly stupid. But if we take a quick look at it, see if we can get the camera to focus. You can actually see, I don't know how well we can see it there, the stitching on the glove, which is pretty cool. I like the amount of detail they put on it, but seriously, and I've always thought that was kind of stupid about Green Arrow. He shoots arrows with boxing gloves. Why? Because let's face it, the character's pretty old. They can't have him shooting people in the head with an arrow. It would look very cool, but they can't do that because, oh no, we're going to get upset showing that kind of violence. So we have an arrow with a boxing glove at the end. No, stupid, but that's okay. Now, my other little gripe about these arrows. Where the hell do we put them? If we look at Green Arrow here, we can see his quiver is full. The boxing glove wouldn't fit anyway. But there's no place to put these. And I guess you could make it so that he's holding an arrow in his hands. But that'll look, I don't know. It just doesn't really do anything for me. I guess we could maybe grab another one and he can appear to look menacing or something. Like, I'm about to shoot you in the face with a bolo arrow. Okay, yeah, whatever. I understand it's neat to have the extra arrows, but really they're pretty pointless in terms of the figure itself. And the other thing that I think I've heard other people mention before is that this arrow is attached to the bow. It doesn't come off. And I think the reason for that is that the drawstring here would probably, or the twine or whatever it is, that would probably break on its own, so this arrow is actually meant to support it. But that's okay. As I said, I wish the arrow was longer. It would just look better. The other thing that this character comes with, because he's a popular character, he does not need to come with a piece of a Build-A-Figure. Right? Because Green Arrow is awesome, so we're going to buy him anyway. So what do you get? You get a DC Universe figure stand. This might be good for some other characters who don't stand up too well, like maybe Kid Flash who didn't, or I don't know, maybe some of the female characters who had a problem with, like Kat Matui. But we can put him on there. Just because he comes with a figure stand, so I guess for now he can use it. Altogether, not too bad. I mean, you'd like to get a piece of the Build-A-Figure, but as I said, you're going to buy this character anyway. At least I would, because he's Green Arrow and he's pretty awesome. I think I don't know how much else I have to say about this figure. It is pretty good. I don't have gripes with the figure. I have gripes with the accessories. The bow and arrow is mediocre, the extra arrows suck, and the fact that his quiver doesn't have a space to hold these really, really sucks, because these are going to get sucked up by a vacuum cleaner and will be lost in time forever. Like, you'll never see these again. I'm surprised I haven't lost them already. At any rate, now I was going to give this figure a grade. That's actually a tough one. You know what, I'm going to give this figure a grade of A-. I really like Green Arrow. I really like the figure. It looks really good. Would have graded it higher, except I just can't stand the accessories. The accessories do annoy me a little bit. They do take away. These. Yeah, stupid. But otherwise, it's a good figure. If you still see him, I think he's worth picking up. Well, the other thing actually is kind of nice is that since he doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, you don't have to feel like you have to buy all the other ones. So I think that's about it. That is my look at Green Arrow. Thank you very much. Class is dismissed.